welcome to Dinner Party Small Talk.
Hello!
I'm Nyssa.
And I'm Matt.
And we are looking amazing today.
We are, aren't we?
I think we look pretty good.
I'm wearing my lemon grab shirt. Appropriate.
I'm not wearing any other pants other than hot pants. So I got that
Also
going for
appropriate.
Me. Very appropriate.
So this is our new podcast. I figured that given that this is our first episode, we should have a little bit of a meet and greet.
Even though we already know each other.
And presumably everyone listening to this at this point in time knows who we are.
Somebody might search for it and be like, that sounds amazing.
Dinner Party Small Talk, that's the best part of the dinner party, said no one ever alive ever.
Except for me, because I picked the title. Yeah.
That's true. Well, I came up with it.
It's true, and I went that one.
So credit where credit's due, i.e. me.
Okay, you get all the credit.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So we're going to do a bit of a question and answer. Now, each of us has written down 5 questions for the other person, and we are going to have a look and...
Yes. Let me preface by saying, I feel like we're very complex people, you and I, and I think that this show is really only going to show one really superficial facet of our personalities. So just, for the audience, not you, Nyssa, you, the audience, for your sake, I think it's perhaps beneficial that you learn just how deep we are.
A really drunk friend of mine one time at a party leant over and said, most people have like 3 sides, you have like 13. So clearly I'm complex.
Clearly.
To drunk people.
Yes.
I seem very confusing.
Basic locomotion, I would argue, is complex to drunk people, but also you.
Also me.
Do you want to go first?
Okay, so my first question to you,
Yes.
Matt, is was there ever something like a toy or a game that you desperately wanted as a kid that you never received? I changed it to put in the toy or game bit because otherwise you might be like affection from my father, and that would be kind of a depressing way to start the podcast.
So a toy or a game that I always wanted.
Something you always wanted as a present, but you just never got.
Yeah, I'm not sure this strictly counts within the boundaries of the question, my mind straight away went to the fact that I influenced my brother when he was like 7 or 8 to buy a particular present that I in fact myself wanted.
Oh God!
It was one of those. It was when laser tag was like, brand new, and it was one of those home laser tag things. Anyway, we played with it for the night.
Yeah.
He bought, he got it with his birthday money or whatever, which was a considerable amount of money, I believe, for a 7-year-old.
Oh my God. He's 7, this poor child.
And we played with it, and in the hallway, in the confines of our house, because
where else were you gonna go play? Because
Exactly.
you were tiny children.
And it was nighttime.
So you actually did kind of get that, though. You just had to manipulate.
Listen, though.
Okay.
Listen, wait for the answer. Okay. And then he decided that he didn't like it, and it wasn't the present that he wanted, and it was returned the next day.
Ooh.
Which I've gotten over it. I actually feel more guilty about the fact that I sort of manipulated him into buying it.
Older siblings are impressive, though, man.
Yeah.
I've eaten a lot of stuff that a human shouldn't eat, but because I had an older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm sorry, did you want me to elaborate on that? It's mostly like dog food and dirt.
Not really.
It's not good.
Okay. Can I
Okay.
now ask you a question?
Yes.
The first question that I had on my list was, what's a toy you've always wished that you'd received?
It is not.
It is.
It is not. Let me see the piece of paper. I don't even believe
tell you. It's right there.
Okay, that's bizarre. We did not consult on these questions.
No, clearly.
I really.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll throw the question back to you.
Really wanted an easy bake oven.
Yeah?
Like, desperately. Because my best friend in preschool, Nicole, she had one. We were best friends because we had the same birthday.
Yep.
Because that makes sense. She had one, and I just desperately wanted it because it seemed like it would be amazing. And I never got one until I turned, I think, 17. I think my mom and my sister got me one as kind of a joke, and I gotta tell you, not that great.
Yeah?
Like, at that point, I could cook in a real oven, and I didn't really need the Easy Bake Oven. I was pretty excited, though. It was pretty sweet.
But did it not make it easier to bake?
It was a lot easier. I certainly didn't burn myself at any point.
Can you tell me what things you can make with an Easy Bake Oven?
Well, it comes with, like, you have to buy little prepared packages of, like, things you can make. So you can make, like, little cakes or little cupcakes or little cookies, but it's all from a package.
Yep.
So it's not very delicious. No, sorry.
Let me stop you there. You know what that sound means? It means I got gas.
And now everyone knows that. But yeah, so I really, really wanted it, but it just wasn't It was so expensive. It was a ridiculously expensive toy, and it just wasn't going to be in the cards.
Can we just take a second to note that while we did move on very quickly from that, I've been sitting here with a smug smile on my face the whole time.
You're very proud of yourself. Yeah, the funny thing as well, though, is there was a lot of stuff I wanted, because I had a lot of friends with a lot of money. You stop, you put your cheek down. Gaseous boy.
Are you going to elaborate on what was just happening, or are you going to let them...
Farted.
I didn't actually do it.
Oh, he threatened to fart.
I tilted.
He tilted as though he was about to, because he's gassy today.
Can
I also really wanted, like, Kens, and I wanted fancy Barbie. I really just wanted all this stuff that was just not going to happen.
Now you've got the perfect Ken. Okay, so I suppose that counts as my question. So
yeah,
you
no,
have
it
to ask
does.
back
That's
at me.
very funny. I'm going to skip down to what is my last question that I just wrote down, the most objectively or commonly considered sort of bad thing that you love unapologetically.
Ooh. Okay. Because there's... Okay, I'm going to say two things.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, and this sort of was revealed to me recently, you know what that sound means?
But you really need to do something about your digestive health at this point. Like, it's becoming an active life problem.
Okay, what was I saying before you so rudely interrupted?
You were...
Yeah, I recall, okay. So recently we watched Stargate, and we'll talk more about this a little bit later on.
Yes.
But recently we watched Stargate, and listen, Roland Emmerich is behind some of the worst movies ever created, like some of my most hated films. Independence Day, Godzilla 1998, White House Down, which I haven't even fucking seen. I don't even know what it's like.
You just know you hate it?
Oh my god. What else did you do? 2012, the terrible disaster film. The day After Tomorrow, the terrible disaster film, among others. But Stargate, you know, I won't elaborate too much because we're going to talk about it later,
Yes.
but I quite liked that film. I felt it sort of held up to what I had imagined as a child, you know? And when I saw it as a child, it was pretty good. Anyway, more on that later, although I've probably blown that whole entire segment now, but...
Well, you've now talked about it so much that it's just never going to live up to anybody's expectations.
Oh, I'll elaborate further. We'll see how they feel after I've got...
Oh, okay.
The other one was, I didn't hate Aliens Colonial Marines the first time I played through it, which was, I don't know whether you know, but for those that don't, it was a video game released quite recently. It was the most recent Aliens video game, and it was sort of hyped as the direct sequel to Aliens, the film.
Opposed to Aliens 3?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have Ripley in it, so that's not a concern.
Oh, okay.
But it was hyped as canon, basically, which in the video game world is a pretty big thing, because it's always extended universe, if to take a Star Wars thing. I think canon is also a Star Wars thing, but anyway.
Everything has canon.
Yeah.
I think the Bible might have actually started the canon thing, because they canonized their texts. So the canonized texts are the ones that count in the Bible, and the ones that weren't canonized don't count, even though they were written at the same time or earlier. Just continue. Just facts for your face.
We should have a sound for facts for your face. Like a whoosh.
This is the thing I just made up because I really wanted it to be alliterative.
In future episodes, we'll have a facts for your face sound effect, I think. So it was sort of reviled because it was hyped, like there was this trailer shown at E3 and it looked amazing and very atmospheric, and you know, and then it came out and it was a cookie cutter game. It was heavily rolled back from what they'd shown you at E3.
Yeah.
It was a piece of shit. I didn't hate it that much. I didn't know anything about the trailer. I was like, yeah, this is cool. The sound effects are cool. It's got aliens, you know, I like it. I don't recall noticing that it was, you know, like very boring.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bored when I played through it the first time. The multiplayer was kind of cool. But that's something that's
kind of
like,
commonly considered as not
everyone
being any
hates.
good.
Everyone hates, and I didn't hate it. I quite liked it.
That's what I always feel like it's awkward because when people are also sitting around and they're talking about how much they hate everything and you like it, because it's not really a bonding experience. It's such a bonding experience to really hate something
Together, yeah.
but to everyone else hate it and you're like, but I like it.
Yeah,
it just
I know
makes
what you mean.
you seem lame.
That's true. You know what? This is such an interesting question. I want to hear yours.
So much of the stuff I like is so commonly considered stupid and lame. When you were talking about the video game, I was thinking about how I really liked the DC Universe online game, which apparently is just awful. It's rated terribly, But you know what? It was the first, like, MMO that I ever really played.
Yep.
And it was the first thing I ever really played on the PS3, so I really enjoyed it, and I played days of that. My other big one would probably be Glee, although I will amend that by saying the last season was really bad. But those first 3 seasons I stand by, and everyone can suck it. It's a good time. And I will also stand by the fact that Darren Criss singing Katy Perry songs is better than Katy Perry doing it.
That's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah, like, the music is actually often better than the people who originally performed it. Like, when they've had people like Britney Spears on, it's actually embarrassing, because she's terrible.
Ugh. Okay, so this one's not quite as interesting as the questions that you've now set the precedent for.
Sorry.
What was your favourite holiday as a child? Now, I was specifically thinking seasonal holidays, like Christmas and Easter and those kind of things.
Well, it's Halloween. Because Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Elaborate for us Australians that don't celebrate it.
So Halloween is the greatest holiday in the history of the world because you get to dress up and pretend to be somebody else, and people give you free candy for it.
All we heard was there were razor blades in the candy.
There never were, though. That was actually a fallacy.
Okay.
Not true. The only people who ever got poisoned or razor blades in anything were people doing it to their own children, and the only kid who ever died from poison candy was poisoned by his father.
Interesting.
So as long as you have parents, another fact for your face. But the only people... But yeah, it was just amazing. It just felt magical because all of a sudden you're walking around and, like, at least where the places I lived especially, it's like the entire atmosphere changed. Everything was spooky. Everybody put out decorations. Grown-ups dressed up. And then you got free candy. Like, I can't emphasize the free candy enough. Because we didn't get candy really in my house growing up. It wasn't a strict rule. It's just my mom preferred that we'd eat healthy like I did. And so we just didn't have candy. And so to get just a pillowcase, because you have to have a pillowcase, and if you take anything else, you're a fool. Because it's large, but it's also durable.
Listen up, children. If you take anything else, you're a fool. This has said so.
But so you get your pillowcase, like at least half a pillowcase full of just candy. Was amazing.
Yeah.
And it never lasts as long as you thought it would because I have a problem. But
and sort of given that I always saw people do their half-assed sort of Australian Halloweens and those kind of things, I was always a little bit jealous of it. It sort of came and went very quickly, but there was a period of jealousy. And now that I'm an adult, every day is Halloween for me. It's like, want some candy? It costs me like 0.5% of my wage. Let's do it.
It's true.
That's a large proportion of my wage, by the way, for candy.
It's an obscene amount of candy, obviously, that you're having. The thing about it as well, though, is I love dressing up. Any excuse to put on a costume, I love it so much. And it was fun to, like, think about what you were going to do. And, like, there was a big store in where I'm from, which is in the Pacific Northwest. In Seattle, there was this store called Display and Costume. That is a giant warehouse just of costumes and things to put up for basically Halloween.
As a B-boy would say, that is wicked sick, brah. Because I'm in touch with the youth. That's my promise.
Okay, so is it my... Or did you want to say what holiday was your favorite?
Dude, we've been talking for like a quarter of an hour, so I'm pretty sure we should just move on.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
I think those were my 2 best questions, personally.
Are we choosing the 2 best of the 5 that we go?
I wrote 6.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. What minor thing have you done that you have always regretted?
Oh, God.
Pick one.
Okay. When I was in kindergarten...
So we're talking minor here.
We're talking minor, and we're talking something that the other person involved doesn't even remember. But I apologize to her as an adult. So I was in kindergarten. I had this Minnie Mouse lunchbox. And I always felt really weirdly self-conscious about the Minnie Mouse lunchbox because I felt like it was for little kids. I am in kindergarten at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I was thinking. But so I
know, Minnie Mouse lunchbox. What were you thinking? Disgraceful. Am I right? Call us.
It was a gift from my grandmother. It doesn't matter.
I should...
What?
No, I'll have it later. I'll put the number for the showdown later if they want to call up.
Okay, if they want to call up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And talk to us next week about this week's episode.
Or they could just call us now.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That would be great. If
okay.
you just want to call
so
now.
Our number is 1-800-STANKHOUSE. That's STANKHOUSE. 1-800-STANKHOUSE. Don't even know how to spell stank. It's one of my favourite words.
So anyway, so she bought me this lunchbox.
Sorry, we've got a caller. Can we finish this second?
Yeah.
Yes, hello. I'm calling the podcast.
Yes, welcome to Dinner Party Small Talk. What can we do for you?
Yes, I just had a question about what you were talking about.
Yes, which thing that we were talking about?
I forget.
So we were talking about holidays? We're talking about Halloween?
No, it was after that. It was what the young man said.
Stank House?
No, it was before Stank House. Give me a second. My pacemaker's just acting up.
All right, so we'll just, do you need us to call someone? Oh, okay.
I think he's dead.
All right, well, that's good, because he was just wasting our time.
Continue.
So anyway, Looney Mouse lunchbox, really embarrassed by it, didn't want to take it to school. I took money, I think, from my mother. I got some money from her. I may have stolen it, I don't know. I was a wild teenager kindergartner. And she rushed in, like, before she had to get to work. She'd bring me the lunchbox. She got into the classroom. She was panting. I was like, oh, God, I have money. And I just felt so guilty for that for so long because I felt like she made this big effort and I was just so shamed.
To bring you your Minnie Mouse lunchbox when you were embarrassed about it.
Yeah, and I just, like, I denied I was like, I was
Wow.
Peter. I denied her in the lunchbox and I was like,
Wow.
I have money.
I thought I knew you.
I'm a pretty dark individual.
Okay. Please, I've noticed that you've erased a number of your questions. I'd be looking forward to seeing what those are.
What was it? Best Christmas gift you ever got? But then I thought
Okay.
of it, the better question was, what gift did you want?
Well, turns out it wasn't the better question, but, whatever.
I can't remember what I wrote here. The other one with a line through it is because I felt like it would take too long.
Okay, all right.
Which was 5 pieces of art that changed you.
You can't put 5 within the 5, because then you've got,
Yeah, I know.
like 75.
I know.
If my maths is correct, which it is, I have a maths degree. That's a lie.
What does this one say? Favorite kind of monkey is what it says.
I was thinking about this actually last week, and I was watching a clip on YouTube of the proboscis monkeys with the giant noses.
Yes.
And one woman was talking about their digestion and the things they eat. It was basically about monkeys. I looked up monkeys farting on YouTube, okay? I looked up monkeys farting on YouTube.
Of course you did.
And it was just chilling on this little railing with its
Yeah.
legs spread like apart. One leg on because it was on the corner of the railing of the balcony that she was on.
Yep.
And it's just watching her point at its little distended stomach and whatnot. And he farted while she was talking. And he was just like, what? And it was like the most human-looking monkey that I've ever, most human
Yeah.
behavior I've ever seen in a
I
monkey.
feel like there must
Apart
be like
from love.
millions.
That's pretty human.
But I feel like there must be millions of videos of monkeys farting. That feels like that would be like,
I actually found it quite hard to find a clear video of a monkey farting.
that's
Even this one
ridiculous.
was filmed off television, like with a camera or a phone,
Yeah.
more likely. And the monkey farted, and the dude laughed, and I didn't even hear the reaction to the monkey fart, so I was pretty disappointed.
That is disappointing.
All right. What does the term Brown Town mean to you?
I don't want to answer. What? Can you use it in a sentence?
Well, it can be used in a number of different ways. That's why there's the question. So, depending on what it means to you, defines how it's used in a sentence.
What
But if I said we're going down to Brown Town, how would you take that?
I feel like it has something to do with poop. And I don't...
There's no right answer or wrong answer.
I'm just thinking it's a sex thing. It's a dirty butt sex thing.
I would have thought that, or like going to the chocolate store, because I often think that when I go to the chocolate store. Perhaps it's just funny to me. Anyway. Those are I'm pretty sure we asked more than 5 questions, but now...
It was in depth. I feel like you guys know us.
I feel like you know us. I feel like you understand
I feel
us.
like even those of us who knew us probably know us better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much better, because you know what Matt's favorite kind of monkey is.
And you know about Nissa's preoccupation with poop.
I don't think that's a thing.
So we'll take this moment to take a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
G'day, my name's Kev McCauley, and I run the Fruit House. We sell fruit. What did you expect, you idiot? Shut up! Stop asking stupid questions. You want fruit? Come here. You want vegetables? Then fuck off! We don't sell vegetables, I just said. We sell fruit. So come to the Fruit House, where you can get fruit, or you can get fucked.
And welcome back to Dinner Party Small Talk. My name is Matt.
Nyssa.
and we are here to entertain you with our faces and one-dimensional personalities, fingers crossed.
Dulcet tones. Don't forget our dulcet tones.
I say our faces because, well, I don't know why I said that. Because
we talk out of our faces.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you notice that I was like, I had nothing prepared, and I was like, you'll think of a reason to justify it. Literally no justification for that whatsoever. This is why I don't do the introductions. So you just heard from our sponsor, Kev McCauley of the Fruit House.
Yes, Kev is a big supporter of podcasts, and we met him recently, and he said that he would love to do the ads on ours, and so that was his ad.
Did you really find him that friendly?
Well, look, he's gonna be on later, and so you guys can make up your mind for yourselves how friendly you think he is.
He kind of just stared at your boobs and screamed the whole time.
You know, though, I've had less friendly encounters, like it. In my
Oh,
opinion,
okay, so
wasn't
it's
that
a
bad.
relative. Okay,
Yeah, it's
gotcha,
a
gotcha,
relative
gotcha.
thing. Like I've had ones, where they were like punching my boobs and screaming. So like it's been worse. It's been worse.
Okay, so what we're going to... I mentioned Stargate before. This is a little segment we like to call Nostalgia Killer. Nostalgia. Killer! That was our Nostalgia Killer music, just so you know. I'm going to fill something in there later.
I was gonna say we're actually gonna have to get music and put it in. It's gonna sound
Yes.
silly.
Actually, they're probably listening to this and I'm not going to cut it out. So just so you know, we're in the future now and we've done it.
So if
Isn't-
you heard music, Matt really did his job well. And if not, what is wrong with you?
I don't know, but the future is an amazing place.
It is pretty spectacular.
Holy shit. They have petrol-powered cars.
Combustion
Aerodynamic lines.
engines.
I drank a Japanese whiskey.
So we watched Stargate,
Stargate.
which is a movie from your childhood. Now, this is the first Roland Emmerich film I have ever watched.
Mm-hmm.
I have managed to avoid them up till now, by choice.
Somehow, because these things come out like regularly and
I know.
they just follow every fucking trend.
I just, for some reason, it just never came up. And it's not that I wasn't necessarily watching action movies or movies like that. I just never watched a Roland. They always look really bad, so I didn't go to see them.
Spoiler alert, they are. Now, Stargate was a movie that I remembered from my childhood. I watched it once, maybe twice. I don't know. It was just from the days where we rented it out. And I just happened to see it available for rent. And I was swept up in the wave of nostalgia. Also, I didn't remember it as being quite as shit as I thought.
All the other ones
a
were?
lot of other ones were. So we put it through the ringer. We tested it to see if it stood up. And the good news is, drum roll sound effect. Proper drum roll sound effect. It did! In my opinion, at least. Can you tell us your impressions of it as a first-time watcher?
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, there is no nostalgia to be killed here because I have nostalgia about this film. However, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was silly. The logic was not great.
In some places.
In some places, the logic was like, why would they even... That doesn't... What? But overall, and like the performances were really good. Like people really
Generally.
Generally.
They were doing the best with what the
Yeah.
script. Kurt Russell committed to his role
Yeah.
like a mother fudger.
And I like, are we not swearing on the podcast?
No, there's plenty of swearing. Did you
Oh.
hear the ad just beforehand? There's heaps of swearing.
Oh, right. Anyway, but I thought James Spader was really good.
Again, doing what he could with the script.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
doing it
again,
alright.
the script was meh, but it was enjoyable.
But
It created a nice world. I can see why they made a TV show.
Let's look at the action movie tropes. The tropes of typical terrible action movies. Okay,
Yeah.
forced romance. Yes, it had one. However, I did feel a genuine sort of... I was genuinely drawn to this
It
couple.
didn't feel horribly forced.
It
I
felt forced when they were
forced.
throwing each other
It wasn't
loving
Riddick.
glances. I suppose, now that we're halfway through this, should we give a brief synopsis of what happens in Stargate for those
Oh,
that
you
haven't seen
guys
it?
have the internet. Okay, you can give a brief synopsis.
You've seen the television show, nothing like that whatsoever. Completely different cast. I don't think there's anyone, if few people come back for the TV show.
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure there's no one. I didn't watch the TV show. I was, yeah.
Should probably not talk about it then.
Yeah. And this is probably shitting on everyone who's... because
Yeah.
the movie was so great. But, okay, so they find this Stargate buried in, Egypt in the 40s.
20s.
20s, and they finally get it working in the present day, which at the time was like 1994. They travel to the other side of the universe in this film, and lands them on basically a desolate planet, which apparently was once inhabited by this alien race. The last of their race traveled to our planet, inhabited the body of one of our people, and took a whole bunch of people back as slaves.
So it's pseudo-Egyptian, their culture, because he's very into it.
He is sort of their god, and he inspired the Egyptian religions, basically. And so they go to his planet, and everything there is very reminiscent of Egyptian because that is what inspired them. And basically, they save the slave populace.
Because they teach them how to read.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's
Reading
all
and
about
writing
how you can't read and write, but then they teach them how, and that's how they set themselves free.
See, this is the thing. They knew how to read.
Yeah, it was weird. They just weren't allowed to.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to read and write, but they knew how to read and write.
Yeah.
But for what it was, I mean, it followed the formula pretty closely, but I found a genuine connection with the people in it, mostly. French Stewart played like a military man, like a spec ops dude, and
he felt very Marine-y to me.
I quite enjoyed him after a while.
Yeah, at first
you're
you were
supposed
like,
to hate him at the start,
hell?
but it's like it worked. Like they grew on you, they changed, and your feelings towards the people grew on you. Kurt Russell had a trauma when he was, his son, it's revealed, died. Like when you first see him, accidentally killed himself with a gun. So it was an accidental death, and Kurt Russell then establishes this bond with one of the younger, slaves, who, being sort of curious, fiddles with Kurt Russell's gun, and Kurt Russell flips out and tells him to leave it alone because it's dangerous. But that is motivated. That is a motivated reaction, and it's he's cold and he's a bit of a dick, but he's gone through trauma. And his turnaround at the end where he's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." I don't even remember my fucking son. Whatever.
Who cares about kids shooting themselves in the face? Everything's fine.
Because let's not forget to mention that they actually leave the slaves with guns, which
that was a bad feeling.
The one thing they leave behind is weapons, and I'm like, oh god, that feels...
James Spader.
Yeah, James Spader, that's right. But it was
enjoyable, actually. I would say for a nostalgia killer, it wasn't much of you could rewatch it. It's rewatchable.
And look, by 90s action movie standards, and especially in my opinion by Roland Emmerich standards, I felt it was reasonably consistent. I felt the characters did things that I would have done, asked questions that I would have asked, and as I said, I felt like the plot lines, the subplots are usually forced, like his trauma with his child and all that kind of stuff. It was kept consistent throughout the film, I'm going
to say, though, for a first segment nostalgia killer, it's kind of a lame one. I feel like maybe we should talk about something that might be a little more interesting, or that we maybe have opinions on that might be a little more divisive.
That's why we have another movie
do we?
for you. Don't play dumb, you suggested it. I knew it was a dramatic thing, I just wanted to ruin it. I'm so sorry.
I hate you.
I'm not that sorry. Please, you suggested it, you introduced it.
So, a little while ago, we watched a movie that many people hold up and consider as one of the great films of our childhood. People who were raised in the 80s and into the 90s, there's this movie that everyone turns to and talks about what a wonderful film it is.
It's a holiday film, but it's a holiday film with a twist.
Holiday film with a twist.
Sort of horror, it's sort of comedy, it's...
Yeah. It has all these elements. People really talk about it so lovingly, and that movie is Gremlins. And that movie is not good.
That movie, in my opinion, it's like 8 different movies crammed together in one movie, and I'm supposed to be feeling the slapstick, but then also
the horror, and it's so dark at some points, and I suppose that's why a lot of people would like it, because it doesn't coddle you. But I felt it was disjointed. I felt the performances generally were not crash hot. No. Oh man. And the script is absurd at points. It doesn't make sense. It's just, upon rewatch, because I watched as a kid and I think I did like it. I mean, I didn't have bad feelings about it, but rewatch, whoo-hoo, Gremlins, no good.
We haven't actually watched this recently, so can you recall any moments where it was like the script struck you as extremely absurd?
So the whole bit with Phoebe Cates' father dying, where they just mention it and then they're like, meh, and then they just move on. He died. She hates Christmas because he died in a chimney. Which also, P.S.
Oh, that's
doesn't
right.
make sense.
He fell
because
down a chimney as an
went-
adult while he was dressed up as Santa.
And he got stuck. And then he died. I don't know, he didn't scream for help. Nobody looked for him.
It's presumed that, I think she says he broke his arm, he got stuck, and he just died.
And he just died. And so now she hates Christmas. And they're like, oh, okay. And they just move on. And there are weird moments where it's like, we're laughing now. And now there's like, and now his mother's like in a fight for her death.
Yeah, something
was intense.
Yeah, and it's just like really horrible sort of things happen, and we're supposed to find it funny?
Yeah.
I don't like, it switches between lighthearted and just really like, I find it insulting that you're asking me to laugh at something so horrible. Like,
Yeah.
the scene where Gizmo is like being tortured, like they're throwing knives at him and shit. And I heard that in the production, the doll itself was just so defective all the time that they threw that in there as like cathartic for the production team. But I'm like,
it's pretty
it
disturbing.
felt really horrible. That's the other thing that
stuff with
bothered
the
me so
dog
much.
as well.
We're supposed to connect with Billy.
Yes.
Billy Peltzer, okay, the guy at the center of this film. He is the person that we are supposed to relate to.
Yes.
He's the everyman, he's the hapless sort of blah, blah, blah. We want him to fall in love, etc., etc. Except for the fact that this kid is literally the worst fucking owner of a mogwai ever. And it's like, the thing, it's not that fucking hard to get it right when it comes to a mogwai,
There are
okay?
like 3 rules, dude.
But within like, okay, first of all, his dad is a fucking douchebag. Mr. Wing should never have sold him. And Billy, within like 10 minutes of owning this thing, has broken the rules like a dozen goddamn times.
He's the worst.
This is a living fucking creature, and this kid is neglecting him and mistreating him, and I'm supposed to go, oh yeah, that's kind of funny, you know, blah, blah, blah. It was just so infuriating to me that I just couldn't connect with this little douchebag.
It just doesn't hold up. I think, like, you want to watch a dark kids movie, anything by
The Dark Crystal?
The Dark
Yeah,
Crystal,
yeah,
The
yeah.
Labyrinth. I'm like, the Henson Company makes an amazing creepy kids movie.
I just felt this film was all over the place, and
was all over the
upon
place.
rewatching,
Yeah.
like, you know, and I just found the darkness too jarring. I felt it was smashed together with the lightheartedness and
And
the comedy, and
It just feels like, it feels like more than one movie put together, and that's what Nostalgia Killer's about. We're here to tell you that those movies that you loved in your childhood are terrible, and you're wrong.
go back and watch it, and I think you'll agree with us, because if you don't, you're incorrect. It's quite as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer for you.
Let's take another message from our sponsors.
G'day, I'm Kev McCauley, and I run the Fitness Zone. If you want to get fit, then come here to the Fitness Zone. I've got everything an idiot like you needs to get fit. I've got weights, I've got a treadmill, I've got a ball, I've got a bike with no wheels. A bike with no wheels? Are you fucking kidding? If you want to be fat, then you can fuck off. But if you want to get fit, then come to the Fitness Zone, where you can get fit or you can get fucked.
And we're back. So that was another ad by Kev McCauley, who this time for Fitness Zone.
Yes, he owns Fruit House and Fitness Zone. And we met him earlier this week.
Yes.
Asked him to come on our podcast. I felt reluctantly agreed, but Nyssa seemed to...
Well, he loudly agreed.
Oh, okay, and you took that for...
Well, I thought maybe he might be somewhat enthusiastic.
Okay, all right. And he's with us right now. Actually, before we continue, I just need to go take a shit. So
Yes?
I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Okay, I
right?
guess I'll do the interview.
That's okay.
Then
It's
just let him in and he'll just come in, I guess. It's a bit of a... hello, Mr. McCauley. Thank you so much for coming. So you are the owner
What's your name?
of Nyssa.
Nelly.
No, well, we met earlier.
I'm gonna call you Nelly.
Okay. I guess that'll just be easier. So we met earlier in the week at your one of your many businesses that you own.
Fruit House.
Yes, at the Fruit House. So how did you come to own the Fruit House?
I bought it.
Okay, well, what drew you to the Fruit House?
Money. I bought it for the money. The money I was gonna make with the fruit.
And is the Fruit House the first business that you ever bought?
No.
What was the first business you bought?
Fitness Zone.
Okay, so you had Fitness Zone first.
Yes.
Okay, so was there some sort of connection there for you, where fruit's good for you and working out's good for you, or?
No. Fruit and fitness are completely separate. What am I dealing with here? You should know this. Shut up. Stop asking stupid questions.
Okay. Wonderful. So, what would you want our listeners to know about the Fitness Zone or the Fruit House that they maybe didn't get from your ads? What's more information you could give us?
There's nothing more to it. If you want fruit, go to the fruit house. If you want to get fit, go to Fitness Zone. If you don't want either of those things, you can fuck off.
Great. So, that's great. Great news for people who want fruit or to get fit.
True.
What kind of things at the Fruit House? Do you have anything other than fruit that you sell, or not just fruit? Okay, great. What kinds of fruit?
Red fruit.
Red fruit. Just red fruit?
No, don't be stupid. Shut up.
Okay, and that would be a bit of a boring interview if I shut up, but what other colors of fruit do you have?
Green, yellow, orange, purple,
Great, so
and blue.
wonderful. What about Fitness Zone? What kinds of exercises can people do at Fitness Zone?
Weights. We've got a number of different weights. We've got 5 kilos. We've got 10 kilos. You can put 5 and 10 together and you can do 15 kilos. If you don't want to do that, then you can get fucked.
Wonderful. Once again, just want to say we really appreciate the support.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I've got a treadmill. You can use that if you want to run, but you don't got anywhere to go. I've got a lifting machine. You use it to lift weights. I've got 5 kilos and 10 kilos. You can also lift 15 kilos if you think you're up to it.
If I can just, interject.
No, I'm not done yet. I've got a ball. You can use it to do squats or shit. I don't know.
Have you finished?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I just wanted to interject to ask you, we've covered the basics. We've sort of gotten to that place where we have a general idea of where you're at now in your life, but where did you begin? Where did Kevin McCauley's journey begin?
None of your fucking business.
Great. So, well, I guess we're really coming up against
Oh,
a
all
bit of a-
right. I was 12 when my dad died.
Oh, wow, we got deep fast.
He accidentally fell on a knife I was playing with. I was cutting up a deer. We were serving it for dinner.
Wow.
I'd killed it myself out in the back. I killed it with my own bare hands. My daddy taught me how. He tripped on another dead deer that I'd also killed. I had the knife ready, poised in my hand, raised above me head. Shut up! Raised above me head. Ready to slit this deer. Top to tail. Take out the meat. And me daddy tripped. And he fell on me knife. And he died.
What?
And I thought, shut up! And I swore that never again would I ever assist the populace in eating meat. So from that day forward, I stopped killing. I stopped eating. I vowed to buy a fruit house. And I bought the fruit house. And I called it the fruit house. And we only sell fruit.
That's a wonderful...
Shut up, I'm not done. Oh wait, yes I am.
That's a wonderful story. Just one question. So you were cutting the deer downwards and your father fell on it. Why? I don't understand how you were holding the knife for him that he would have actually...
He fell forwards.
He fell forwards.
I was holding the blade downside, but my hand was raised so it was facing straight ahead.
Did you kill your father?
Shut up!
It kind of sounds like, it sounds like you might have stabbed him, on purpose.
I'm done here. I'm done with this interview. You can't incriminate me and trap me with your breasts and your sexuality.
I'm not, it's not like I'm naked. I'm just sitting here.
They're exposed enough. I can see cleavage. I know what cleavage looks like. My daddy told me.
I don't think you
when
do.
I was 12.
I'm wearing a turtleneck. I'm not sure you understand cleavage at all.
I saw it when my mother died.
Wait, how did your mom die?
I was poised, ready to kill a deer.
Okay, see, now you just seem like you're just killing your parents.
They tripped on a dead deer.
No, but seriously, like, I'm just saying, it sounds like you killed your parents.
Well, it was an accident, I tell ya.
But I mean, but the same way, it seems really suspicious.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Okay, well, great. That was our interview with Kev McCauley. Thank you so
Shut
much.
up! I'm not done.
Okay.
I have nothing more to say to you but this.
Oh, yeah.
It was an accident when me daddy tripped and died.
Okay.
It was an accident when me mummy tripped on me daddy and died.
Huh.
But it won't be an accident when you trip and die.
Great. So, if we could just get Matt back in the studio, maybe just...
Thank you very much for having
Security,
me.
thanks.
It's been a lovely time.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for supporting the show with your ad.
Shop at the fruit house.
Yep, Fruit
Get fit and
House.
zone.
You might also get stabbed.
Stop talking! Shut up!
Just gonna wait for him to go.
What the fuck was he railing about?
Oh my god, how long does it take for you to poop?
It's thinking time. I had my phone. I was looking on Tumblr.
He killed his parents and just threatened to kill me.
He told me it was an accident.
No, but did he tell you the story? Because he was holding the knife like this and they both tripped?
Yeah. His dad tripped over a deer, his mother tripped over his dad.
Yeah. It just... Yeah.
Alright, well, Nyssa looks kind of traumatized, so I think I might carry us outwards from here. That is all from us today at Dinner Party Small Talk. We're very glad
all
to have
I'm saying is I'll stab him before he stabs me, if that's what you're thinking, because I will stab you!
What was that? I heard you talking.
I said I would stab you!
That's what I thought.
Yeah?
Shut up!
You shut up!
Buy some fruit.
Shut up! Gonna eat meat. Tell me what to do.
Okay, so thank you from us here in our inaugural podcast for Dinner Party Small Talk. We've had a great time. We've been really happy to talk to you this time, haven't we, Nyssa?
We have. It's been lovely.
Thank you very much, and we will see you next time on Dinner Party Small
And if you
Talk.
cross me, I will stab you.
Good night.